that we've got a lock. So welcome. So what I'd like you to do first is just make sure that you're comfortable, especially if you're sitting. So if you're short like me, have a cushion under your feet, and perhaps have a cushion behind, so that you can lean back a little bit, and you don't have to be constantly sitting completely upright. And at any time, if you feel like you need to get up and move or shift, or if you feel you need to sway or whatever, then go ahead. Because I don't think you can see each other. Can you? No. So it doesn't really matter. Yeah, so it doesn't really matter. But if you feel that it helps you to shift the energy a bit faster, then just go ahead. All right? So what I'd like you to do first is just close your eyes and start to take a few deep breaths. I've got a chime here, so you may hear some sound. And if you hear me speaking something which doesn't sound like English, it's just like language, and it needs to be done to bring in a certain energy that we need, okay? So just focus on your breath and just breathe in deeply and breathe out deeply according to your own rhythm, okay? According to your own rhythm. And with each in-breath, you can just silently express appreciation for all this lovely air and all this lovely oxygen that you're bringing into all of your cells, especially with all this masking that people are being required to do. And when we can, we really need to breathe deeply. So on the in-breath, just express appreciation and gratitude for all this lovely air that you can breathe and all the oxygen that you're bringing in to all the cells in your body. And then on the out-breath, you can just let everything go. Whatever you don't need, if you've been feeling a bit cranky, then you can just accept that it's been a bit cranky, and that's fine. But you can just let it go on the out-breath and start to relax. Start to relax the shoulders, yeah? Start to relax your shoulders and let them fall. So keep breathing, and whilst we're breathing, just connect to all the senses of your body. So what do you smell at this moment in time? And what can you taste in your mouth? Does it feel warm or cool? How do your clothes feel on your body? What can you hear besides my voice? And are you getting any visuals even though your eyes are closed? So I'm going to just sound the chime. So please keep breathing. So the intention for this online event is that we clear, transmute, release as much as we can that is in all our body systems, so the physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, and other bodies. Whatever is in those bodies which is limiting us really, really, really loving and really trusting and enjoying our bodies. So I just invite in all your spirit guides, all our angel guides as well, and the wonderful light beings that we work with, who support you this whole time. and any spirit animal guides. Any star beings, the ascended ones as well. So just keep breathing. So you can keep your eyes closed or you can keep your eyes open. That's absolutely fine. But what we're going to work with first is to do with our ancestors. Yeah? And what I'd ask you to do is just keep your breath as smooth as possible. So try not to hold your breath. And just keep breathing in and breathing out according to your own rhythm. And just relax. If you need to drink water, drink water. So the ancestral connections to why we might not love or trust our bodies. Now, one of the first things I came across was perhaps it was to do with their concept of beauty, what was appropriate. And what's really, really interesting is the unraveling of what there's been fashion through the ages. So much fashion. And that had to do with, with the Chinese people, with binding their feet, with the Victorians, the corsets, which really limited the major organs because they were pushing in for a very, very small waist. So fashion has been around for a long, long time, and our ancestors may have been subjected to any of these and not limited to those things. And that would have been really very, very difficult and not at all good for their bodies. So we're just going to go into the ancestral lines, and you don't have to follow if you don't want to. All you need to do is just breathe and just give permission for this to happen and give intention for it to happen, okay? So usually the father's side is on the right side, behind us, so the ancestors are behind, and the mother's side, our mother's side is on the left-hand side. And so we just release from our entire ancestral line all the restrictions through the body, through fashion, through being expected, especially, it happened to the men as well. They had to conform to an extent to fashion which wasn't good for their bodies, otherwise they would be looked down on. So we need to release from both sides, the father's and the mother's lines, any damage which may have been done from fashion. Okay, and also if your family were quite big or they were quite dark, that they may have been subjected to a lot of teasing and being seen as outsiders for some funny reason. So that will also anchor in the energy bodies and our DNA. So we just give permission to let all of this go through the ancestral lines, all to the first one who ever felt or whoever received this was on the receiving end of this. And if you're a visual person, you can also imagine that you're giving all this up to your high self, and that your high self is perhaps above you. And you can say, I release all of this from my ancestral line. And I also release it from my descendants, from my children. And your children can be your genetic children, or it can be your adopted children. It can be people you're close to as well, children you're close to. It doesn't always happen through the blood. It can happen through the association. Yeah, and so body shapes and face shapes and height. So, and yeah, and whether certain features were like, you know, big chins or big ears or long dark hair or short hair. And if somewhere along the line the ancestors fell foul of that, we're just going to let all of that energy go. Let it be released, clear and transmuted. Release it to the high self. Say, I give this up. I don't need it. My ancestors don't need it. It was just from judgment and it's just completely inappropriate. And I release it. And I release it from my ancestral line. And I also release it from my body, from all my energy systems. And just take a deep breath and breathe out. That's it. Well done. And just sit a little while so that this is released completely. Okay. And just keep breathing. And we're also going to move on to diseases. So, and a lot of us understand or have been told that certain cancers run in the family. Now, Bruce Lipton might disagree with you. It's really to do with belief. But what we're going to do is we need to release all of that and all the beliefs and all the ideas that our line, you know, our generation or our future generations will inherit or may inherit these. Yeah, so we don't want to be plagued by a fear that we might get something, and just because our mothers may have had a cancer, or our fathers or our uncles. We need to start to really engage personally with our bodies, and not through what someone has told us that would happen. We don't have to believe it. We don't have to accept it. We don't have to receive it. Because the mind is a very, very powerful, it's really, really powerful. When we start believing something, it starts to happen, and it starts to work its way into the physical, into the physical part as well of the body. Okay? So we just, with intention, give all these ideas and beliefs about diseases which run in the family to the high selves. We release that, we release the belief, the ideas that we might get it or it runs in the line and we need to be fearful of it. We let that go. Breathe in and breathe out. Okay, good. That's really good. Okay, just breathe in again and just release it. Just give intention to release from the ancestral lines as well. And also our descendants, we don't want to be passing any of this down to our kids. Okay. So keep breathing. And there's also something else which came out quite strongly, especially in previous generations, that if you were born female, you are not worth so much. Yeah. What the sentence which came out was that you're one step behind the males. Okay, which is not true. Which is not true at all, and it's been happening for generations, except for very, very few cultures where we've been either equal or the female has been venerated over the male, which is an imbalance in its own way. Yeah, so So we want to let go of that completely. You know, one step behind the males, not as valuable as the male children, okay? Not as able, not as smart, not as capable of earning a good living or earning good money or being as committed. And you may think, well, how does that limit my love for myself? Well, if it's said enough times when you're young, or you hear it in the background enough times, especially the child self who start to believe that, yeah, just like if someone keeps saying, oh, mom's got cancer, you need to get yourself checked out, because it's possible that you might have, you might get it as well. So when we hear this, it's like a program, and we might start to adopt it, and so we don't want that. So we give the intention and the permission that we give this idea that females are less than males, less capable, less valuable. And we clear and transmute it from our entire ancestral line, from our generation, from our descendants. So give it to the high self. Take it away, clear and transmute it. Don't need this. Outdated concept, limiting, don't want it. Okay, breathe out. Now what I'd like you to do is, on the next in-breath, and allow it to be, play with this. So imagine whatever color you believe your soul to be. Could be bright pink, could be purple, could be emerald green. But what you're doing is you're bringing this energy, your own soul energy, down through the crown of your head into the center of your brain, which is where your pineal gland is. Some people say it's like a little pearl, or it's like a little pine cone. That's why it's pineal. But that light, it's like liquid light, pours in to the center of your brain, and it fills your pineal gland, fills it completely. And this is the energy of your soul. Okay, we've done a reasonable amount of shoving some stuff out, some old limiting rubbishy thoughts that have been handed down to us. And now it's time to download your soul, yeah, because it's emptied a bit of space. Because all these limiting beliefs and thoughts, they take up space in your cells and in your energy as well. So now that there's a bit of space, we get our soul energy in. So it's filled up the center of the brain where the pineal gland is. It's starting to flood the frontal lobe. So you can imagine or visualize, or you can just say, yes, it is. If you're not visual, it doesn't matter. And then it's flooding the left and the right hemispheres, and down into your brainstem, and also into your pituitary gland, which is the master gland. So as you breathe in, there's more and more of this light, and it's filling all parts of your brain and the two glands. And then when you feel ready, let this seep to the extended part of your brain, which is beyond your physical. Okay, let it seep into the energetic brain, yeah, which is all around you. I tend to feel that it's around kind of the top bit. But if you want to bring it beyond that, then please go ahead. Follow your intuition. So on the out breath, you're expanding, you're bringing this light out into your energy fields. Okay? And we're now going to bring your energy into the rest of your body, but it's filling each and every cell of your brain and the brain stem going into your skull, going down the entire nervous system, down your spinal cord, and also rushing through the bones, down to the tailbone, through the entire nervous system as it runs through your whole body. So this is the color, this is your soul energy coming in. And as it does that, it's coming into your eyes, from your brain, into your ears, your sinuses, your nose, cheekbones, your skull bones, into the upper jaw, the gums, the teeth, into the lower jaw, the mandible, the teeth, tongue, down into the throat, thyroid, all the skin, all your hair, all the cartilage, all the tendons. Ooh. All the blood, the lymph system, okay? And this is running down into your lungs, the trachea, the esophagus, into the heart, into the stomach. Yep, I said lungs, heart, rib cage, liver, spleen, pancreas, gallbladder, small intestines, kidneys, adrenals. So as you're breathing in, you're drawing in more of your soul essence. When you're breathing out, you're sending it down into your organs, into your skin, into your arms, your shoulders, right to the fingers, all the bones, bone marrow, blood, tendons, cartilage, lymph system, nervous system. Then we continue down into the large intestines, into the womb, to the ovaries, fallopian tubes, into the hip bones, all the joints, into the ureter, bladder, urethra, vagina, perineum, all the muscles there, down your legs, through all the bones and the bone marrow, the blood, the lymph, muscles, knees, shins, calves, ankles, arches, toes, and again your entire nervous system all the way to the nerve endings in your fingers and your feet. So just breathe for a little while before we move on to some other issues that we need to clear and transmute. But just sit in this energy for a moment, which is you. Okay, sit in your energy. And just breathe. And just allow it to expand in all directions. Allow yourself to radiate it into all your energy bodies, beyond your physical body, and around your back as well. Don't ever forget your back. So front, back, left, right, up, and down. So I just want to check in with you both, and you can type in. So how are you feeling at the moment? Have you felt any movement yet? We've got still quite a list to go. We've just been dealing with the ancestral stuff. We still have our stuff, and then childhood, criticism and things like that. Childhood diseases and ailments. But how do you, oh, while yawning, you're releasing, so that's okay. I find that when I yawn a lot, I have to keep my eyes open, otherwise I'll fall asleep, which is a way of zoning out. Yeah, a bit tired. So have a bit of a rest afterwards. Make sure you drink water. So if you want to quickly grab a bit of water, that will help things to just shift. But tiredness, yawning, burping, farting, it's very normal when we're kind of clearing energy, because everything is starting to move, which is what we need. We need things to be in flow, and we need things to be in balance. So when we have a lot of limiting and negative beliefs or thoughts, they start sort of anchoring around us, physically and energetically, and it stops the normal natural energy flow. So if you're a bit tired, well, sometimes it's also helping to detox, okay? Because sometimes things just get stuck. So what we're doing is we're letting things flow again. So have a bit of water. So breathe. You're doing really well. And at this level, I'd like you to imagine all the membranes around all your cells. Yeah, all our cells have a cell membrane, and we have trillions of cells in our bodies. Just imagine that by releasing all the old cell membranes. Yeah, they're all disappearing and new ones are forming, because we're letting go of the old vibration of what we were 15 minutes ago, and we're allowing a new vibration to anchor, hence the bringing in of the soul energy as well, because there's a bit more space for it to inhabit. Okay, I mean, that visualization you can do anytime and any day. Yeah. So thanks for your feedback. Should we continue? Yeah? Okay. So I'm just looking at my list. So if there's any shame, thanks Mina, if there's any shame about the body, any guilt from any perceived imperfections by our parents or family or friends. Oh, why are you so plump? Why are you so short? Oh, you're shorty. Good-natured teasing is one thing, but again, if you hear it constantly, it starts to drag at us. Yeah, so the shame and the guilt at being the way we are, it's really debilitating. Okay. And also shame if when we were very little, if we were just investigating ourselves and our moms or dads say, no, don't, it's dirty, don't touch, don't do that. And it's actually really innocent. This is completely normal. Yeah. So let's just give intention to clear and transmute that. So if you want to visualize, you give all of that to the high self. Say, no, thank you. I give intention to clear and transmute, release from all my minds, bodies, emotions, and expressions, if you want to use that phrase, through all space-time dimensions, universes, so it includes your past lives, future lives, and also do this for your ancestors, because they may have been subjected to body shaming and guilt, and maybe if they were gay, maybe they were a little bit different. Maybe they didn't like men but had to get married, and they may have a bit of self-hate at being born women because of that, not having much choice. Arranged marriages, yes, arranged marriages, where there was absolutely no choice, and perhaps girls at quite a young age. Whew. So there's some sexual abuse in the lines. Yeah. So, okay. Just sit with that for a little while. So as I'm doing that, I'm connecting with your energies as well. Just to pick up if there's anything in your ancestral lines. Okay. So there may be terrible shame and guilt from that, yeah, from being abused. And not being able to talk about it. And the ancestors, they could have been male and they could have been abused during the war. And for the women, they may have ended up being pregnant. So again, is the shame and the guilt, horror, hate for the body, hate for being who they are, hate of life. Whoa. Okay. So let's just bring in some love. Let the angels come in, please. Angels come in to support us through this, to support the energy of the ancestors who had these atrocities. And please help to clear and transmute them so that they can have love and forgiveness for self, so that they can release and just move away from the guilt and the shame. So when we do this work, we do it across space and time. And we do a lot of service for our ancestors. But it's good for us as well because it clears up stuff which sometimes lands on us from them. And you may wonder, where did I get all this guilt and shame from? I don't really remember my childhood having a hard time with those issues, and yet, or someone in your family is picked up, and it could be from how many generations, yeah? And there's a sensitivity or a little sort of weakness because of that, and in relationships, yeah? It can really cause issues in our present day, in this life, in our relationships with men or women. Right. Breathe in, please. Thank you. Just breathe out when it's appropriate. Okay. So release to high self. I'll let you take all of this away, please. Clear and transmute it. You can imagine yourself surrounded by gold light. It's the energy of unconditional love. Okay. And we also ask that all this energy is also cleared and transmuted, not just for us and our ancestors, for our descendants or the next generation, perhaps your sisters or your brothers' kids or your nieces or nephew. So we do it for everyone. Oops, there we are. Again. And this is me clearing for us and for my ancestors too. Okay. So we move on. Actually, what we need to do is once again take your focus to all the cells in your body, doing it quite quickly, and all the old ones are popping off or removing or disappearing, and we're growing new, perfect ones, beautiful, complete, circular, really, really complete cell membranes, beautiful. And on the next in-breath, you imagine your soul light going into each and every cell of your body, and all the cell membranes, lighting them all up. Okay, good. Okay, just breathe for a little while as it moves. Just let it work its way through. Just breathing in gently at your own pace, please. And if you need to move forward, if you need to sway, go ahead. If you need to describe a little circle around your bum, go ahead. Okay, that helps to move the energy. I mean, this is really quite big, heavy stuff, because there have been so many wars over the centuries, and it's been a lot of atrocities somewhere along the line, and so it's coming up to be released and cleared and transmuted. Okay, so moving on to debilitating childhood diseases and ailments. If you were sickly when you were very young, or you kept getting ill, because sometimes when we may lose trust in our own healing, in our body's ability to take care and heal itself. So that's why this particular topic came up. So we just need to let go of that, and let go of the experiences, the horrible experiences, because that doesn't have to control your experience of life now. And we really, really need to take care of our bodies, really love our bodies, and really trust our bodies, and trust our body's healing ability, innate healing ability, and support it. See the doctor if you need to and get your treatments, but support your body yourself through the food that you eat, exercise, and releasing of all these negative, limiting beliefs, negative thoughts and mindsets. Okay? So just because we may have had a hard time being ill when we were young, it doesn't mean that the body is incapable of healing itself. Okay? So let's just release this to the high self. So I let these old beliefs go. They don't serve me. And my body is strong. And my body is trustworthy. And my body is brilliant. It allows me to have the most amazing experiences here in this life. It allows me to hug the people and sense and feel the people I love. And also my children, my family, any pets, any animal companions, to be able to cuddle them and feel them and enjoy them. Okay, so that's what we want to have. We want to have that joy in our bodies and trust. Okay? So just take a few breaths. And how are you feeling now? Are you still feeling a bit tired? Or are you deep in it? Good, okay. Excellent. Okay, so we continue. And so the body parts that we're focusing on today to do with the breasts and the womb. And so we need to clear and transmute, let go. Of any limiting beliefs we have, any sort of negative thoughts that we have about our breasts and our wombs. And we're also clearing and transmuting all this through the blood and the bone marrow. I mean, the breasts are things which are obvious for women. Feeling that they're too big or too small, or but also something deeper. It's very much about being female. And enjoying the femaleness, enjoying our femininity, enjoying being a woman, and being proud of our bodies, and enjoying our bodies as well. And the womb is hidden. The womb. What do we have to work on with the womb here? Hiding, something being hidden, hiding oneself, hiding one's creativity, perhaps having had illness or worries of the womb. And so we just bring in the energies to love these parts, the energies of love to these parts, to the chest, to the breast, to the lungs, to the heart, to the womb, and to the hips. The womb, the expectation of having children. Of a woman's place is to have children. It doesn't always work for everyone. And some shame to do with it. So let's give all this up, clear and transmute it, hand it over to the high self, let it all go. And then you can have a new relationship with your womb and have a new relationship with your breasts and your chest. So we also need to go into all our bones, yeah? And just imagine, or you can just follow, it's okay. But you can just imagine how strong and stable your bone structure is. And this is the structure that everything sits on. This is the structure that your muscles are fixed to. And then your muscles support all the organs and they keep them in place. So the bones and the bone marrow, for some reason there's a lot of shame which is kept in these parts of our bodies. So it's time to just let go. Give it all to high self. Release all the shame of being a female, of the blood time, of being seen as unclean. So that's ancestral as well. And so we clear and transmute also from the ancestral line, and also the breasts and the womb and the bones and the bone marrow. Let it automatically be cleared from the ancestors, from our system, from our descendant systems as well. So we let the blood do its job of bringing nutrients and oxygen and removing toxins, carrying toxins as well away. So carrying oxygen. So we allow our blood to do its job, fulfill its function perfectly. And the marrow as well. As we just clear and transmute more of that, any of this sort of shame away from it, off it, up to the high self. So clear and transmute all of that. Okay. So, what else? Just a final thing. What else is stopping us from really loving and trusting our bodies? And if something pops into your mind, you can just give it to your high self. Let this go. Don't want this anymore. Thank you, but no thank you. Clear, transmute, release, please. High self, remove it completely from my ancestors, from me, from my descendants. But let's see what I can intuit. For some reason, it feels like as if we may have been it's from parenting styles, not really trusting ourselves, but also not trusting our own intuition. And disconnecting from the body, because the body doesn't lie. It never lies. I mean, if it hurts, it hurts. And that's it. And this is what, it's not the pain thing, but the kinesiologists use body testing because it tells the truth. Yeah, but how we've been parented, and also the loss of connection with nature. We've lost our trust in the innate body wisdom that we have. Yeah. Okay, so that's the last thing I think we need to deal with today. We've done everything else. So let's give this to the high self. Yep. That's my dog. So we release all this old teachings that we may have received from our parents, and old programs, old thoughts that we can't trust ourselves and we have to do what they say. They know what's best. They've always got the right answer. We have to listen to them. And that's what that's done is it's supposed to be okay to bypass yourself, but it's not. You have to listen to yourself. And no one can do it for you but yourself. Only you know what's right and true for you. And only you know what's right and true about your body. So let's just release all this old programming from our parents, yeah? Or grandparents, or aunts, or uncles, or whatever, friends. Clear and transmute, release it. From our descendants. Take a few deep breaths, breathe in. Bring in your soul energy to all your cells, flooding each and every cell. Then on the out breath, just let go. Just with the breath, help all of this stuff to move on, move out. And then on the in-breath, you download even more of your own soul energy inhabiting your body. Nothing else, not the thoughts that you've been told to have or you've been taught to have, the old programming. All that needs to be shoved out, and it is going and being released and cleared and transmuted. And then we bring in our own energy, our own soul energy, our pure energy, our wisdom, our gifts, our knowing, our sovereignty, our amazingness. Ooh. He agrees. So let's do this for a few more breaths. And let's just bring in love and forgiveness for our bodies, for ourselves, for perhaps not being very authentic with our bodies and not being very kind and gentle and compassionate with our bodies. So we ask the angels to help support us, bring in unconditional love, acceptance and compassion for ourselves, for our bodies. I promise my body and myself that I will love myself and accept myself unconditionally. I will forgive all the mistakes which I will inevitably make, because that's normal. But I will always love myself. So with each in-breath, bring in more of your soul energy, filling up all those spaces. And once again, we're clearing out the old cell membranes, and they're perfect ones, made with our new energy for each and every cell. Okay, good. So now we're going to do something a little bit different. And if you'd like to move with me, so our left side is now working with our right side in a completely new way, in a completely different way, because we're new and we've released quite a lot, so our vibration has changed. So the left side is working with the right side in a new way, and the right side is working with the left side in a completely new way as well. And the front is working with the back in a new way, because we've changed. And the back is working with the front in a completely new way now. And the top is working with the bottom in a completely new way, because we've shifted and we've changed. And the bottom is working with the top in a completely new way, because we've changed. Within is working with without in a completely new way, because we've changed. And without is working with within in a completely new way. And we thank our ancestors. Excuse me. Thank all our ancestors. And if you'd like to just join me, Evelina and Mina, just in a few moments, just whole space for the anchoring of whatever you've shifted, anchoring your new you into your body. And we can just imagine connecting together through the heart or through the high self. And we don't need to send love, we just radiate our light to the world. And this is your pure soul light. And we just radiate it to the world. And you can radiate love to the world if you like, because it really needs it. Okay, now we just disconnect from each other. Yeah, disconnect completely. Oh. So thank you very much, Mina and Evelina, for joining me today. I think Sunday is quite it might be quite a challenging day to do something, because it tends to be a family day. But it's wonderful that you joined me. So thank you very much. And how do you both feel? Ooh. Yeah, sleepy. That's okay. Whew. Might be a good idea to have a little rest. Have a nice warm bath, perhaps put in some Epsom salts, or if you like aromatherapy, to put in some aromatherapy, some lovely oils, and just feel your body and love all the sensations that it gives to you. Love it. So you can ask yourself, how can I love my body more? How can I connect with my body more and enjoy it even more? Whew. So remember to just drink enough water. Yeah, drink enough water, take a break, perhaps sleep early tonight. Have some absolutely wonderful dreams, I hope. And yeah, thank you. I'm going to upload the video onto my YouTube channel. So probably take a whole day to upload. It's so slow. And you'll be able to use it again if you want. Okay, so thank you very much. Got any other feedback at all? How's the body feeling besides sleepy? Anything buzzing or? It's my little dog. Anything else you might want to share? Otherwise, don't worry about it. Okay. All right. Well, thank you once again for joining in. And if you'd like to work with me, I have got a discount on Angelic Reiki distance sessions at the moment. So I think there'll be £50 till October. But I'm also running what I'm hoping is going to be a face-to-face workshop in Blackheath on the 19th of September, and it's to help women. So it's only a ladies group to move in their lives if they feel that they've had real trouble moving. And I was advertising it specifically for people who are have had Chinese past lives or who are Chinese, because of the foot binding that has happened. But really, it's not just for that group of that demographic of people. It's really for any women who found that it's really can't seem to move forward. For some reason, they try and it just doesn't happen. So I'm going to repost that, but be lovely if you could come, if you're interested, if you feel that it's something that you might want to work with, or something which might help you, might be helpful for you. But we'll have to see as well, because the venue hasn't come back. And they said at first, yes, that's not a problem. But I've got a feeling with all these risk assessments, my community center where I run my gong baths, they were hoping to start up again earlier, but they're not able to because there's so much paperwork and so much cleaning to do. So I'll keep you posted. Okay, so thank you very much, and I'll probably do possibly another one, and I will invite you again. Okay, so thank you. Have a really wonderful afternoon, and I hope this really worked for you. So if you could leave some feedback, that would be really, really great. Okay, thank you then. Bye. Bye for now. Have a wonderful afternoon and have a wonderful evening. Bye. So I'm going to turn this off now, if I can. How do I do it?